What's up, you guys? Jason Wardrop here, and in this video we're going to break down the best placement for your Facebook advertising when you're setting up a new campaign. All right, so basically if you're like, okay Jason, what's placements? What does that even mean? It's basically where you want your ad to show up. So it could be on the Facebook newsfeed, could be on the mobile newsfeed or the desktop newsfeed. Okay, it could be on the right hand column, it could be on Instagram and Instagram stories, it could be, a video, it could be on the audience network. There's so many different places that you can go through and show your ad. Okay, and I want to break down and show you guys what's worked really well for me, and then also what you guys should consider doing with your business. All right, now real quick guys, if you guys want my 100% free Facebook ads mini course, it's a complete run through of the Facebook ads manager, and it's really for beginners. A complete run through of the Facebook ads manager. We show you guys how to set up the Facebook pixel, all the tracking. So basically a quick overview of setting up all of your Facebook ad campaigns. Just drop a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and I will share that with you. All right, so let's jump into this. Okay, so when we're going through and we're talking about placements, whether we want to show the news feed or if we want to show the right hand column or Instagram or the stories or whatever it is, we're going to go through and we're going to create a new campaign. All right, so we'll just hit start over here. Now based on what your marketing objective is, like if you want video views or if you want leads or just people to click to your website or whatever it might be, different marketing objectives can work better depending on where you place them, right? So I just want to give you a quick run through though in this video of what's worked best for me on pretty much all these different marketing objectives as a whole. So for this one, since we're talking about placements, this marketing objective, let's just pick traffic for this demo right here, and we'll hit continue. And so at the ad set level, okay, so this is that second step, and then the third one, you're gonna go through and actually create the ad, the actual creative, right? This is where you're gonna go through and choose which placement. Okay, whether you want to show it the news feed, the right hand column, the audience network on Instagram and the stories on the new Instagram news feed, on mobile, desktop, you have all these different options. And this is obviously also where you choose your audience. Right now, I'm not going to get into the audience targeting and all that stuff of like who we should show these ads to. That's all in that ads mini course, Facebook ads mini course. So if you guys want that, drop a comment down below, give the video a thumbs up, and I will share that with you. But let's come down here to placements. Okay, now by default they say automatic placements recommended. Okay, and I don't always recommend that. Okay, now let's break this down. You have a few different audiences, right? Now when you're targeting your warm audience, okay, now your warm audience is people who have already visited your website. They're on your email list. They basically have interacted with your Facebook page, so they know who you are, right? When it's that type of group, that's typically a lot smaller audience. Usually it's like, tens of thousands of people, or if you've been doing business for a long time, it may be in the 100 200,000 people. But that's where I maybe would use all placements, okay, because they already are familiar with you. So if they see you on Instagram in the stories or the news feed or on Facebook or right hand column, they're already like their attention's gonna jump to you and what you're doing. All right, now if you're going to a cold audience, a completely cold audience, they have no idea who you are, they've never seen you, they've never heard of you, nothing, and you're trying to get their attention, what I like to do typically is go to edit placements, and I usually like to start out with just the Facebook news feeds right here. Okay, so what I'll do is you can see they're all checked. I come over here and I uncheck all these. I uncheck the messenger, the audience network, I uncheck Instagram, uncheck instant articles, all of these different ones, and I just start out with Facebook news feeds. All right, now this is historically what I've seen work best for my business and a lot of other people's businesses. However, just because a lot of people are starting to focus on the news feed now, the cost of generating leads and the cost of doing business, it can be a little bit higher. It's going up because it's kind of like the supply and demand, right? Like if you're going down a freeway and they've got, like, let's say 100 billboards on this 50-mile stretch, okay, and there's 200 people wanting to go through and show their advertisement on these 100 billboards, okay, the cost is obviously going to go up, and it's going to go up to the point where there's not 200, there's now maybe 150, and then if there's that, there's going to still go up to the point where they're leveling out right at that 100. And so that's kind of what's starting to happen. There's so many small businesses, so many people trying to advertise in the news feeds, and that's why, oh, I forgot to uncheck this one. That's why it's good to go through and test out some of these different placements. So the second one that I like to go through and test out is the Instagram news feed. Okay, now typically what I like to do is go through and create a different ad set. Okay, so what that means is I would go through, let's say I'm going through and creating this one with the news feeds. I would continue, I'd set my budget, and I would continue and create the ad. But I would go through and I would create a completely different ad set targeting the same exact audience. Okay, because then we can get a really good split test. Okay, so targeting the same exact audience so we can really know which one converts better. And instead of clicking news feeds, we for Facebook, we're gonna do the Instagram news feed. So we're gonna uncheck that, and you can see we're just targeting the Instagram news feed. Okay, so I've seen different results. I've seen variant stuff. Like, so sometimes Instagram back in the day, their advertising platform, I didn't feel like was that great because the targeting stuff was a little bit off. I feel like it's gotten a lot better, so you can go through and start targeting more with Instagram and in the news feeds. And then if you go through and you find out later on, you're like, well, it's only like so let's go back and let's say we're targeting on Facebook. That is our placement. And you go through and you're looking at your stats. Okay, and I can shoot another video for that a little bit later, how to go through and look at your stats. And let's say you see most of your opt-ins in the Facebook newsfeed are on mobile as opposed to desktop. So more people are opting in, like scrolling through on their phone, as opposed to scrolling around on desktop. Now, back a few months ago, the mobile newsfeed for Facebook and the desktop newsfeed, those were actually separate that you could check, but they're not anymore. They combine them together. However, what we can do is come up here to device types and we click on all devices, which is recommended, and I typically recommend that as well. But if you're seeing like, hey, mobile is working so much better than desktop, all you got to do is come over here and click mobile only. Okay, so you're only showing it, but then you're gonna have to come through and uncheck all of these. So you're only do it on Facebook news feeds, and it's only showing up in the mobile feed. Okay, so it's not showing up on desktop, or vice versa. You could go through, change this to desktop, but as I recommended starting out, I would go through and do all devices. All right, so guys, that's basically a quick rundown. So start out with Facebook news feeds, see how that converts, and then if you want to go through and expand and do some split testing and see some other different placements, I would test out Instagram news feeds, and then you can go see in your analytics whether it's mobile that works better or even desktop, right? And then another thing that I would do is just go through and test things out, because your business is different than anyone else's business, right? And so you might find that, like, hey, Messenger just works amazingly well for me, right? Like, you just might find that just works super well. So like basically Messenger ads, you can kind of see this over here when you're going through into your Facebook mobile app, into the Messenger little spot, like the third one down, it'll be an ad. And I've seen that actually work fairly well for certain ads. But keep in mind that the ad creative, so when you get to this next step down here and you create a new ad, just know that it should probably be a little bit different than the ad that you're showing on your Facebook newsfeed. All right, so anyway, guys, hopefully that was helpful for you guys, kind of break down the different placements and what you should try first. If you've got a small budget, like if you got $10 to $15 or $20 a day, I would start out with the Facebook news feeds and then even merge into the Instagram news feeds. If you've got a bigger budget, if you're spending $1,000, $2,000 per day or even more, then you can obviously have a little bit more of a budget to start experimenting with some of these other ad placements, right? So anyway, guys, if this video was helpful, obviously give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, let me know what you thought. Let me know anything that, if you've experienced different placements that have worked extremely well for your business. I always like to experiment, I always like to try new things, so I'd love to hear your feedback. Also, if you guys are brand new here to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe, because we launch new videos every single week on how to generate more leads, make more money, and grow your business. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you all later.